Let's meet on our mats in Samasthiti. So we'll start with some sun salutations, some standing postures to connect us into the earth and to warm up a little bit. And then we'll get started with some core drills once we get onto the floor. And then we'll end with like a cool down, releasing the front of the body. So let's find Samasthiti. You can have the big toes together with the heels slightly apart, or separate the feet a little bit more if you need that for stability. And if you'd like, you can close the eyes. Just to take a moment here before beginning the practice, to settle in, feel into the space of the body, and notice the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Standing up tall as you feel the feet rooting into the earth. Let's bring the palms to heart center to begin with an Om. You can join or listen. Inhale, deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, bring the arms down to your side, opening the eyes. And we'll start with some Surya Namaskar A's, sun salutation A's. On your next inhale, bring the arms over your head. Palms touch as you gaze up. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine. Hands to the mat. Bend the knees if you need to. Relax the neck. Inhale into half lift. Reach the heart forward away from the legs. Exhale, step back into a plank. Lower down through chaturanga. You can lower the knees as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Point the toes and lift the heart away from the floor. Any amount. Exhale into downward facing dog or child's pose. We'll be here for a couple of breaths, few breaths. Settling into the body, settling into the breath, establishing the breath that'll support you throughout the practice. In and out through the nostrils, with the tone in the vocal cords for Ujjayi breathing, without straining the throat or straining the breath. Matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. Let's take one more breath here. Fully exhale and step or jump to the top into half lift, feet together, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold forward, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, come to stand, press through the feet, legs are strong as you reach the arms up, gazing up. Exhale, floating the arms back down to Samasthiti. Again, just like that, inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold, draw the lower belly in as you fold in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, keep moving with the breath. Step or jump back, bend the elbows. Finish the exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog, or just lifting up into cobra, bending the elbows. Exhale into downward facing dog or child's pose. Good, and if you want to start lengthening the sides of the body here, you can let the hips drop over to either side. So if you're dropping the hips to the left first, allow the heels to pivot towards the left as you sink the hips over to the left. And then you can get a little bit of a stretch on the right side of the body. And you can stay there or you can sway back and forth from side to side. And stay, if you're staying, stay for a couple more breaths. Breathing into the side body. And then maybe switching over to the right side, where the hips and the heels fall to the right, so to stretch the left side of the body. Deep, steady breaths. And then coming back to the center, one breath here. Fully exhale. Step or jump to the top of the mat into half lift. Exhale, fold forward, fully exhaling. Inhale, come to stand, arms over your head. Exhale, Samastitihi. Let's take one more Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold. Moving with the breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe you're lifting the thighs, maybe not. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. You could always do downward facing dog with the knees on the floor. So it's like a down dog with like shorter legs. Deep, steady breaths as you inhale. Feel the rib cage expand out in all directions as you draw the lower belly in. And let's take one more breath here. Fully exhaling, step or jump to half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Pressing down, reaching up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Good. Inhale, bring the arms over your head. We're going to move into a Dikasana series. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. You can always lower the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, you're going to step the left foot forward, come onto your fingertips, and pick up the back right leg. If it's too much to bring the fingertips to the floor, you can place blocks underneath the hands. And we're bringing that right leg to be parallel to the floor, flexing the right foot so the toes point down towards the ground. Keep the heart opening and reaching forward. Good. And then feel into that left foot. Press through the left foot so the left leg is strong. And spread the lower back so you feel hollowing through the front of the pelvis, drawing the lower belly in. Good. On your next inhale, without touching the right foot on the floor, we're going to stand up and bring the right leg forward. Lifting the leg up, keeping the right foot flexed, and reach the arms over your head. Good, we'll hold this for about 5 breaths. Keep the right leg strong, and as you keep reaching through the pinkies, the palms are facing each other. So as you root down through the left foot, you're reaching up through the pinkies. One more breath here. And then moving into a twist, you can bend the right knee or keep the leg straight, and the left hand is going to come to the outside of the right knee as the right arm reaches back, or the left hand catches the outside of the right foot, and then maybe you straighten the leg. Moving into a gentle twist as you keep rooting through the left foot, lengthening through the spine, reaching the crown of the head up. Drawing the lower belly in, maybe finding the right sit bone, moving down and in towards the midline. One more breath here. Now for one more Dikasana, you're going to release the knee or the foot, let the right leg swing back behind you, lower the chest, finding a straight line between the torso and the right leg. And here you can have the arms to the side. You can have the arms back down to the floor or onto blocks, or you can reach the arms in front of you. Good. For 3, internally rotating that back leg, dropping the right hip down. 2, drawing the lower belly in. Try not to arch the back, but spread the lower back. One more breath. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend the left knee. Place the hands on the mat, step back into a plank. Inhale in a high plank. Exhale, lower down through chaturanga. Good, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, right foot forward for that first Trikonasana. Pick up the left leg and flex the left foot. And find that internal rotation through the left leg. So, in other words, the toes are pointing down so that you can really root down through that right foot, the 3 points behind the big toe, behind the pinky, and down through the center of the heel to spread the lower back. Tailbone is heavy. Lower belly is drawing in as the heart reaches forward. One more breath here. On your next inhale, lift up to bring that left leg in front of you. Arms over your head. Try not to lean back, but instead keep the shoulders over the hips, over the right heel. And as you press through that right foot, reach through the pinkies and draw the lower belly in. Good, strong legs. One more breath. As you exhale, move into the twist. Right hand catches the left knee as the left arm reaches back, or catch the outside of the left foot as the leg straightens. Find a drishti point, maybe front, side, or towards the back. Pressing through the right foot, reaching through the crown of the head, maybe feeling the left sit bone drop down and towards the midline. Maybe releasing tension in the shoulders, the neck. Good, one more breath here. And as you exhale, moving into the last Trikonasana, letting the left leg swing back behind you. Finding a straight line between the torso and the left leg. Maybe you bring the hands to the floor. Maybe you reach the arms forward or to the side. Good, and finding that internal spin through the left leg. As you draw the lower belly and spread the lower back. Good for 3. Strong standing leg. 2, draw the lower belly in. 1, exhale. Make your way into a high plank. Step the right foot back. Inhale in the high plank. Exhale, slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're just going to do one more standing posture before we go down to the floor. Inhale, jump the feet forward, bend the knees, Utkatasana, arms over your head. You can either have the palms together, gazing up, or the palms apart, gazing forward. Sink the hips down, draw the lower belly in as you reach through the pinkies for 3 deep breaths. 2, 1. Keep the knees bent. Exhale, we're going to twist over to the left. So bringing the right elbow to the left thigh or just behind the left knee. You can bring the hands in prayer. Keep the knees bent. Keep the hips lowering towards the floor. If you want to deepen the twist, you can bring the shoulder to the outside of the knee with the hand on the floor. And the left arm reaching up. For 3, strong legs, sink the hips. For 2, moving that left sit bone back and towards the midline. Good. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, over to the right. Hands in prayer. Or that left hand to the floor and the right arm up. If that left knee wants to slide forward a little bit, let it. Drop the hips and move the right sit bone back and towards the midline. For 3 deep breaths. 2, 1. Inhale, back to the center. 5 more breaths. 5. Good, even if your legs are burning a little bit. 4, 3. Draw the lower belly in. 2, 1. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated, or just make your way there, however you know how, into Dandasana. Bring the legs out in front of you, flex the feet, engage the legs, and bring the hands next to the hips, finding a straight spine. So coming onto the sit bones, feeling the sit bones rooting into the earth. As the spine lengthens, the heart opens, and the lower belly lifts just above the pubic bone. If it's difficult to find a straight spine here, then perhaps putting a blanket underneath your sit bones could help pivot the pelvis so that you can find a position from which to straighten the spine. Good, we'll take a couple more breaths here. Just focusing on deepening the breath and expanding the rib cage out in all directions as you inhale. Good, releasing that into Paschimottanasana. Inhale, reach the big toes. You can bend the knees here. You could also just bring the fingertips to the floor and lift the heart, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, fold forward, but continue to lengthen as you fold. Settling in, bringing the attention deep into the pelvis. Drawing the lower belly in. Deep, steady breaths. Good. Keep the legs awake and active, the feet awake and active. And as you push the feet forward, pull the arms back. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins. You can roll over the feet or lift up. Make your way into a plank. As you exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Good. And now we're going to do our first core drill. So coming onto your tippy toes, bringing the arms to the side. And I'll show you what we're doing and then you can join me. So you're going to exhale, lower down, inhale, come up. So lower down only to the point from which you can come back up from. And what we're doing is we're rotating the pelvis so that when we lower, we're coming to the lower back. So you're going to feel like your sit bones are moving forward towards the heels. And you can decide whether the feet are flat or you're on your tippy toes. It might be a little bit more stable with the feet flat. So we're just going to go back and up. Arms to the side. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, lower down to the point of no return. Inhale, come up and find a straight spine when we come up. Exhale, round. As you lower, inhale, come up. Exhale, lower and slow it down. Exhale, inhale, come up, sorry. Exhale, inhale, come up. Exhale, inhale. Feel free to go at your own pace. Exhale, inhale. Let's do 5 more. Exhale. Inhale, that was 5. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Notice the front of the body engaging as you flatten the lower back to touch the floor. Inhale, that was 3. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. And 1 more. How low can you go? Inhale, come up. Now hold this position. For 5, you can come onto your tippy toes, or you can straighten the legs in Navasana. For 4, or you can come halfway. For 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to lower and hold that lowered position. lower back touching the floor, shoulders off the ground. For 5, again, the toes can touch or you can straighten the legs. For 4, press the lower back into the mat. For 3, 2, lift the shoulders. 1, inhale, come up. Good, hands in front of the hips. Let's do a little lift. Exhale, come down. All right, we're gonna do that again, holding it on either end of that drill. So first holding this Navasana variation and then holding the lowered variation. All right, find your Navasana variation, feet on the floor, feet lifted or legs straight. For 5, 4, lengthen the spine, lift the heart. 3, 2, so good. 1, lower down, tuck the tailbone so the sit bones reach forward, lower back touches the mat. For 5, front of the body is strong. 4, shoulders are lifted. You can lower the feet if you need to. 3, 2, 1, inhale, come up. Can lift up in between if you want to. Let's do that one more time. 5, 4, remember you could always take a variation. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, lower back touching. 1, inhale, come up. Good, let's take a vinyasa. Come over the feet. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. I already feel my core really waking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, take a couple of breaths here. Okay. I was so worried that I was going to be cold, and now I'm starting to warm up with this long sleeve shirt. All right, from downward facing dog, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bring the knee towards the right shoulder. Good. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, now bring the knee towards the center, lifting the thigh to your chest. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, cross over, bring the right knee towards your left shoulder. Good, we're going to do that again. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, knee to your right shoulder. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee to your chest. Inhale, right leg back. Knee towards the left shoulder. Good. Downward facing dog. Let's do that on the other side. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, left knee to your left shoulder. Inhale, left knee back, left leg back. Exhale to the center. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, left knee to your right shoulder. Inhale, let's do that again. Left leg back. Exhale, left shoulder. Inhale, back. Exhale to the center. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale to the right shoulder. And inhale, back. Exhale, lower the left leg into downward facing dog. Or you could also take child's pose. Okay, now that we have the order, now we're going to add a little bit of a challenge here. So when we go to each point with the knee, first we're going to try to reach the highest point on the arm and then lower the knee down and then pick the knee back up before reaching it back. So I'll show you from downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, bring it high. Inhale, bring it low. Exhale, bring it high again, and then reach the leg back. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Yeah, do that for the center, lower down, pick it up, and back. And then we'll do that for the crossing, lower down, pick it up, and go back. So you also have to incorporate the use of the shoulders. When you lift the knee up to its highest point towards the shoulder, you really need to protract the shoulders and press through the shoulders. Yeah, and of course use the strength of the core to really like crunch, like round the back and use the front body strength. All right? Okay, we'll start with the right leg. So when you're ready, we'll come into downward facing dog. And if it helps to bring the left foot into the center as we work with the right leg, you can. So inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, right knee as high as you can on the right arm. Inhale, lower the knee down without touching the floor. Exhale, lift the knee back up. Inhale, right leg goes back. Same thing in the center. Exhale, knee to your chest. Inhale, lower the knee, don't touch the floor. Exhale, lift the knee back up. Press through the shoulders. Inhale, right leg goes back. Now to the left shoulder. Inhale, right knee to left shoulder. Inhale, lower the knee. Exhale, lift the knee. Inhale, back and up. One more time. Inhale, right shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, lift. And go back. Exhale to the center. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, chest, thigh to your chest. Inhale, back. Exhale, left shoulder. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back and up. And switch sides. Now the right foot can come to the center. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, left knee to the left shoulder. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. Inhale. Exhale, to the center. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. To the right shoulder. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. One more round. Exhale to the left shoulder. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. To the center. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. One more. Stay with me. Exhale to the right shoulder. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. Good. Take child's pose or rest in downward facing dog. Good. So good. That was a little bit of a shoulder workout as well. Good. When you're ready, you can take a vinyasa, or we'll just meet in a seated position. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right. From a seated position, we are going to lie down. And we're gonna do a few variations of core work from our backs. So the first variation, lift the feet so that the knees are over the ankles and already set up so that you're pressing the lower back to the floor, because notice how that automatically connects you to the front of the body and the core. So already learn to just tuck the tailbone a little bit so you feel like the tailbone reaches towards the front of the mat, or the sit bones reach towards the front of the mat, whatever kind of makes sense for you to visualize, so that the lower back presses into the mat. And then from here, we're just going to lower one leg at a time. So as you exhale, let the right toe just tap the floor. Inhale, bring it back up. And the left foot just taps the floor. Inhale, come back up. Let's do that 9 more times. Right foot comes down. and up. Left foot comes down and up. Synchronize the breath. Exhale, right comes down. Inhale, right comes up. Exhale, left comes down. Inhale, left comes up. And then right, and come up, and left, come up. As you lower the legs, keep going slowly. As it comes down, notice the tendency for the lower back to want to lift. Keep pressing the lower back into the mat. Good. Keep breathing. Let's do about 5 more on each side. 5. Keep pressing the lower back. 4. Keep breathing. So good. 3. Slow it down. 2. And 1. One more round. Good. Good. And then in between these different drills, you can either hug the knees, you can take constructive rest, where the feet are kind of like the width of the mat and the knees fall into the center towards each other. Just take a couple of deep breaths there. Okay. For the next drill, you can just listen while I explain it to you. You can watch. We're going to come back to that same position, and this time we're going to lower both legs at the same time. And so it's simple enough so that you can really focus on keeping the lower back touching the floor. Simple but not easy. Good. And then just notice, place the hands where it feels supportive. So maybe they're alongside the body with the palms facing up. I find that to be the most supportive. Yeah. All right. So when you're ready, knees over your hips, press the lower back into the mat. Exhale, lower both. Just tap. Don't press the feet into the mat. Inhale, come up. Good. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come up. Good. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Keep going. Exhale. Inhale. If you want to challenge it, you can lift the shoulders. Exhale and lift the head. Inhale, come up. Let's do 5 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Hug the knees. Take happy baby. Or come into constructive rest. Good. Okay. Okay. Now, watch me or just listen while I explain the next one. So now for this one, we're going to want the arms out to the side with the palms facing up. And again, we're going to bring the knees into that same position, knees over the hips. And now this time we're going to lower the knees over to the left. And when we do that, so we're going to go into a twist. We want to keep that same position of the pelvis with the tailbone reaching towards the front of the mat. As we lower the knees over to the side, that right hip, if we start to the left side first, the right hip is going to lift off the floor, but try to keep the right shoulder on the mat. And then we're going to inhale back to the center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale back to the center. So we're kind of using different part of the core. So again, as we twist over to the left, we want to try to keep the right shoulder on the floor. And as we twist over to the right, keep the left shoulder on the floor. And the whole time, keep that connection to the front of the body that we got from pressing the lower back into the mat. So between sides, take a moment to like center yourself and make sure that the lower back is pressing into the mat. All right? Okay. And remember to use the breath, synchronize the movements with the breath. Arms out to the side. Knees over your hips. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, come over to the left. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to the center. That was one round. Exhale, left. Inhale, draw the lower belly in. Exhale, right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, left. Inhale, slow it down. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, keep going. Inhale. Try to keep the knees over the hips. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slow it down. Inhale. Let's do 5 more. Exhale. Press the lower back into the mat. Inhale. Press the lower back into the mat. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 1 more round. Good. And come to the center for constructive rest. Good. Okay. Now, we're going to combine the last 2 drills. So we're going to go to the left, center, down the middle, center, right, center, down the middle, center. So we lower down through the middle, in between the sides. And this time, you have the option to do this with straight legs. So the straight legs, for me in particular, feels really intense when I go over to the side. So, and going slow helps to keep the integrity of the core. And then lower down through the center. You can do this with bent knees too. And then lower to the side. And try to use the core instead of like so much the arms or so much momentum to move through this, and use the core. Even if that means you don't lower the legs as much. Okay, so if you haven't started already, I see some of you already started. Lift the legs or lift the knees. Totally perfect to do this with bent knees. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, lower the legs to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower through the middle. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale through the middle. Inhale, center. Again, exhale through the side. Inhale, center. Exhale in the middle. Press the lower back. Inhale, center. Exhale to the side. Keep the shoulders on the floor. Inhale, center when you go to the side. Exhale through the middle. Inhale, center. Again, exhale to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale through the middle. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. Press both shoulders. Inhale, center. Exhale through the middle. Exhale, center. Let's do 2 more rounds. Exhale, lower. Inhale, center. Exhale, middle. Inhale, center. Exhale to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale through the middle. Inhale, center. 1 more round. Exhale to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, middle. Exhale, center. to the side. Inhale, center. In the middle. Center, good. And relax. Hug the knees or come into constructive rest. Good. When you're ready, let's rock up to seated. Take a vinyasa. And let's bring the right foot forward. Let's come into a lunge, just to release the front of the hips. And you can lower the back knee. So you can be here, allowing the right hip to sink towards the mat, or you can bring the right foot towards the glute. Either hand binding. Deep, steady breaths. Good. Couple more breaths on this side. Good. When you're ready, switch sides. You can take a vinyasa between sides, or you can just go through downward facing dog before bringing the right foot forward to release the front of the left hip. Option to bend the left knee and bring the foot towards the glute. Deep breaths. Couple more breaths here. Good. And when you're ready, step back into a high plank. Exhale, come all the way down to your bellies. And let's just take a sphinx here, with the elbows underneath the shoulders or a little bit in front of the shoulders, especially if you need to alleviate some pressure in the lower back. And the arms parallel to each other. Press through the elbows, press through the shoulders so that you're not sinking into the shoulders, maybe activating the legs, reaching back through the toes. Let's take a few breaths here, deep breaths. If you want to deepen into this, you can start to straighten the arms and lift the stomach off the floor, creating length through the front of the body. But feel free to keep the elbows on the floor. Good. Deep breaths. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Deep, conscious breaths. 2. And 1. Good. Slide the hands back next to the rib cage. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog or child's pose. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll jump through to seated and lie down on your backs. And we'll bend the knees and plant the feet and take a supported bridge pose. So you can If you have a block, you can lift the hips and bring a block underneath the sacrum. So just like, you know, at the very lowest part of the spine of the back. It's wherever it feels like comfortable to have the block support the pelvis. If you don't have a block, you can just come into regular bridge pose where you press the feet and lift the pelvis. But if you do have the block, you can be here and you have the option to straighten the legs. That'll kind of get into the front of the hips a little bit more. So if that feels comfortable, if not, just keep the knees bent and the feet planted. And if you're doing it unsupported, you can just lift the hips. Take about 5 breaths lower down. You can do that about 2 or 3 times. And if you don't have a block but you want it to be supported, you can also put like a pillow or a bolster underneath the pelvis and support it that way. Melting over the block. Good. A few more breaths here. Now if you have the block, keep the block there and then just bring the feet over the hips. So we'll do like a supported Sarvangasana. If you don't have a block, feel free to just do this with the hips on the floor. Or you can come into shoulder stand where the hands come to the lower back. You know, feel free to do that. Also, if you have a block and you just prefer to do shoulder stand, take about 10 breaths there. So again, either the hips on the floor, the block underneath the sacrum, or shoulder stand, lifting the hips. Good. Take about 5 more breaths. And then slowly coming out of that, releasing the block. And we'll just take one more pose here before Shavasana. Matsyasana, fish pose. So, of course, you can do this supported with the block underneath the upper back. It's kind of like in line with the lower part of the block, the lower edge of the block, kind of aligned with the shoulder blades. You can come over like this with the arms over the head. Again, just find a place for the block that's like comfortable. Or without the block, catching the back of the thighs, pressing into the elbows, and bringing the crown of the head to the mat. Lifting the heart. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can stay with the block if you're doing it supported, or begin to release it and find your way to Shavasana, final resting pose. Completely relaxing the body. Good. Letting the feet separate a little bit wider than the hips, letting the arms move away from the body, take up as much space as you need. Completely relaxing, releasing tension behind the eyes, in the throat. Allowing the breath to be natural. Feeling the backside of the body, making contact with the ground. Feeling the support from the earth. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like. And if you're ready to come out, start to deepen the breath. Reaching the arms over your head for a full body stretch. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Fall over to either side. And when you're ready, you can slowly make your way back to a seated position. We'll just take one final moment here. Close the eyes if you like. Resting the hands, finding a straight spine. Feeling into the body, into the core of the body. Breathing deeply into the core of the body. Feeling the residue from the practice. I'll finish with an Om. Bringing the palms to heart center. Inhale, deep breath in. Thank you, everyone.